Hey everybody, welcome back to BigRedEDC. And today it is an honor on this channel chat to have with me Mr. Paul, Mr. Nice Slicers himself. How are you doing today, sir?
I'm fine, thank you, JB. How are you?
Oh, well, it's Monday. As we found out, it's a
Yeah.
Monday morning, so but we're
Well,
getting going.
unfortunately, every day is the same for me.
Yeah. So I tell you what, Paul, if you would want to give just a quick bio of yourself, just to kind of introduce yourself to those that may
Yeah,
not know you, that would be awesome, man.
that's fine. Yeah, I'm Paul. Nice slices. Unfortunately, I don't work due to disability. Um, 20 years ago, I was a police officer and I had an accident at work and broke my back. Um, Managed to do some sort of work up until about 6 years ago when had to have an operation which went wrong, and I've been disabled ever since. Um, I've got three kids, three sons. My oldest lad, he lives with me. He's my full-time carer, and he's who got me into all this YouTube and Instagram like because I didn't have a clue before that. So
I hear you there. I hear you there.
yeah,
I can kind of blame my son as well.
yeah.
So very good. So your son actually, did he get you into knives or did he just get you into the whole social media aspect of it?
Yeah, there's a strange story there. I've always been into knives. Obviously, most blokes are. Um, but I started collecting about maybe 2 or 3 years ago with the intention of something to leave for my kids when I'm gone.
Okay.
Um, and then it turns out my son at the time was at university, he was living away from home. Um, and he came home one weekend and basically, I hate knives, knives this, knives that. And I said, why, what's happened? One of his mates had been on his way home after a night out and he got held up by the throat with a knife to his throat by a junkie.
Oh my goodness.
Um, yeah, so it sort of put my lad off knives, and now every time I go out and I've got one in my pocket, what you got a knife in your pocket for? You don't need it.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
but
Well,
there
no,
you
I
go. But
I can understand
yeah,
that, I guess.
I do. I totally understand him, but he doesn't understand that they are tools. They're not for holding people up or self-defense. They're
Sure.
tools, and that's what I use them for.
Sure.
So after I started collecting, um, I sort of I was watching a few people like yourself on YouTube and on Instagram, and I thought, I'm stuck in my bedroom. I was bedbound at the time because I was waiting for another operation, which I had earlier this year, but I was bedbound for 12 months. And I
Oh
was
goodness.
so bored and so fed up.
Oh.
And I was getting really, really depressed. And my lad said, well, why don't you start an Instagram account, Dad, and show your knives off? So that's how the Instagram came about.
Okay.
And that's sort of blown up now. I've got over 1,600 followers now on there.
Nice. Yes.
Um, so yeah, that's how it all started really, and I've been collecting ever since.
And then you just kind of morphed into the once you started because you were that's what I thought you'd started on Instagram first,
Yeah.
and
I,
that just kind of morphed you into YouTube and showing off your collection and that type of thing.
well, I was sort of staying away from YouTube because there's that many people out there doing it. I thought I'm only going to be showing the same sort of knives off, but I started doing little videos on Instagram. And my lad again says to me, well, you're doing them on Instagram. Why don't you put them on YouTube? So that's how that started. And that started earlier this year.
Yeah. Yeah, very good. Very good. And you know, and you say that, and it is very, very true. We start you do show a lot of the same knives as other people do. But I think that is a good thing because you get
Yeah,
a wide variety of opinions because not every person picks up or emphasizes the same aspect of
yeah,
a
that's
knife.
true.
And I think that's a good thing. I really, really
Yeah.
do. What you got there? Oh, what's that? Whoa, hang
That
on.
is that's an EOS Elite Outfitting Solutions Urchin friction folder. That is UK legal and it's big. That's the biggest UK legal knife I've got.
Okay. And as long
And I got
can you
that
please
directly from America.
Oh, cool. Well, can you do me a favor real quick? Can you please,
Yeah,
now I understand this may be for your area, or I don't know if it's UK, but just kind of give
yeah,
us a quick rundown of what UK legal actually means.
right. When people think of UK legal, they typically think of a minute, um, Swiss Army knives, things like that. Yeah, so that's a UK legal penknife. It's got to have a blade of less with a cutting edge of less than 3 inch. It's got to be non-locking. I have to non-locking and two-hand opening allegedly.
Okay.
So anything other than that is illegal. Now, your automatics, your gravity drops, and things like that, they are classed as Section 1 firearms. So if you get caught with one of them, you are absolutely buggered. They
So
are
they're
properly
actually
illegal.
so they're actually classified as, they fall into a firearms classification
Yeah,
in the, oh
yeah, they
wow,
do.
I did
Well,
not know
they did
that.
do 20 years ago when I were in police, put it that way, and I can't see it changing much.
Okay, okay, okay.
Um, yeah, but
That's a very interesting piece of information. I did not know that.
when I first started collecting, I was collecting like um, locking knives, lots of them. And then as time passed on, I thought, because I thought at the time, I thought all your UK legals were like traditional pocket knives. You know what I mean?
Sure,
I thought,
sure.
do you remember this one? This one came
Oh,
from
of
you.
course, of course.
So I thought, well, there's a lot nicer knives out there, like lock knives. So I'm going to collect them. But then further into the journey, you realise that there are things like this that is UK legal, and it isn't like a traditional pocket knife. So
No,
you
that's
can get nice UK legal knives.
sure, sure. That no, that is definitely not traditional. That
Um,
is that is very cool.
like this is a one-handed opening, but it's still classed as UK legal. That's the best tech Junzai.
Oh, I like the look
Um,
of that. Oh my goodness,
oh,
that's a nice looking
it's a
knife.
lovely knife. It
Yeah,
really
it's
is.
beautiful.
It's really nice knife.
I tell you what, you know what? I still don't think there's a best tech I've met that I haven't liked. I'll tell you that right
Well,
now.
that's the first one that I've ever had, and I'm really taken by it.
No, I mean
Then there's like,
every design, I don't fall into every design, but they've all been very well built knives. Oh, that's a
yeah,
beauty
I
as
mean,
well.
yeah, that's Etian Blade Works Black Star, and again,
That,
that's a one-hand opening, but it's double D10 slip joint,
yeah,
but it's got a little flipper tab there on top, but you're supposed to open it like that, obviously.
sure, sure.
But no, this is my little play toy.
Oh yeah. They,
Yeah,
and somebody, I think one of the guys in the last one I did, I can't remember which one it was, but you know, he said, I don't want to say playing with knives. And I was like, trust me, when guys talk
yeah,
about fidget factor and all that, you know what they're doing? They're playing with knives. That's what they're
yeah,
doing.
I heard
So,
that. I,
it's just, it happens.
I also heard one of them say that it doesn't carry um, pocket knives, like non slip joints, sorry, because they can't deploy quickly.
Well, yeah,
So you know what I
yeah,
mean?
I hear exactly what you're saying. That
So
one's, it's right there and ready.
yeah, it's same as a Junzai. I mean, it don't flick open, but that's all it takes to open it,
Right.
and it's there. You
Right.
know what I mean?
Well, and that was the whole reason why I asked them that question, because I mean, to me, I think I see the traditional slip joint patterns, and I, like I said, I always kind of call them grandpa knives, the
Yeah,
older, your trappers and your peanuts and that type of thing.
yeah,
And
yeah.
I wanted to see what they, as, because they really are the next generation
Younger
of,
generation. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
And I wanted to see where they fell into, if the traditional pocket knife, and it seemed to me what I got out of it is some yes and some no, pretty much just
yeah,
like our generation, really. Some
yeah,
people
yeah.
carry
You're
them and
right.
some people don't.
Well, everything you see on this table here, apart from the torches, obviously, they're all UK legal. And I did that for a reason, just to show what a different variety you can
Sure.
actually get.
Oh, I appreciate that for sure. Now you said a cutting edge. So the blade length can actually be longer than 3 inches as long as the cutting edge is not. Is that correct?
Yeah, yeah,
Okay. Okay.
yeah. I mean, not it can't be a 4-inch blade, obviously, but if it's slightly over, as
Right.
long
Right.
as you've got like oh, which is well, this is the best one to show it here. Forward finger choil.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah, so it's a longer blade, but the cutting edge is under 3 inch, but it's still quite a handful because it's a longer blade. It's just that
Sure.
finger choil. So the cutting edge starts there, and from
Right.
there to there is just under 3 inch.
Right on. Right on. Now I see you got some flashlights up there too. Are you a flashlight guy as well?
I am. I'm a big Olight fan. I'll be honest with you. I've got about 10 Olights, but these two are quite special. These are one of these you can't actually buy them. They're called one's called the Phoenix and one's called the Dragon. The proper limited editions, and they've got engravings.
Oh, cool.
That's a Dragon,
Yeah.
and then
Oh, that's awesome. Now,
so
is
I
that
won these
the?
from Olight UK.
Oh, you did. Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, yeah.
Is that the I3T?
It's the i5T.
I5T, I5T. Okay.
Yeah.
Very cool.
I've also got the copper one. That's in my cabinet over there. But these two are. I just thought they're a little bit special.
I mean, Olight makes an absolutely fantastic flashlight without question. I tell you what, the little what is it, the I3E EOS?
Yep, I've
The
got one of
little
them as well.
yeah, the little keychain one. I tell you what, for a little flashlight, that thing putting out nearly 100
Yeah,
lumens. I
yeah,
don't know.
yeah. In fact, I've got two of them. Yeah,
I,
the
man, I
little
can't.
ones where you just twist it to turn
Yep,
it on.
yep.
Yep, yeah, they're
I
brilliant.
tell you what, I don't know how many of those I have bought and given away on the channel, given to family
Yeah,
members, given to friends. I mean, that is just an awesome, awesome little light.
they're ideal little gifts, aren't they? Little stocking fillers, and they're not
Exactly.
expensive.
Exactly. Exactly. Now, we kind of talked about the Swiss Army knife before. Are you into Swiss Army knives? Do you have a big Swiss Army knife collection?
No, this is the only one I've got. It's
Okay.
the Pioneer X. When I was younger, I had a few of them, but I quite like these airlock scales.
Oh, I love A-locks.
Um,
I love
yeah,
A-locks.
so I got this one. The problem I've got, JB, is because I suffer with depression, I bite my nails,
Gotcha.
and I can't. You see what I mean? So that's
Sure.
why I've got this little pry bar here
Well, there you go.
just to help me open them.
Yeah.
So that's one of the reasons it puts me off. I prefer a knife like that where you can pinch it to open it,
Sure. Sure.
or do you know what I mean?
Oh,
Something
of
that's a lot
course.
easier to open.
Of course.
Um, don't get me wrong, I've got quite a lot of Rough Riders. I've got about a dozen Rough Riders now, but they stay in my cabinet and they stay open.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Um, I have like certain knives that I'll carry when I'm going out. This usually comes with me. But then it'll either be something like the Best Tech. Oh, what have we got here? This is another one that I take quite a lot because of the pouch, the MKM. But again, it's got a nice, easy way to open it.
Sure. Oh man,
Uh,
that is a pokey little devil. Holy
oh,
cow.
it's brilliant. Very,
Yeah,
very sharp as well. Very sharp.
I would imagine
And
so.
it comes in this lovely little pouch, which it's got like a magnetic clasp on it, and you put that bit inside your pocket, and then that on the outside of your pocket. So all you can see basically is that bit there.
Oh, I love it. That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's an excellent
Yeah, I thought
idea.
that. I've got my Leatherman. When I was in the police, I always carried a Leatherman.
Sure, sure.
After a couple of years rehab, I was a wagon driver, and I always had a Leatherman. And they're just fantastic tools. Really are fantastic tools. You
Oh,
never know how many times the needle nose pliers come in handy.
oh yeah, for sure. I mean, the last probably 10 years for sure that I was in the military, I was never without a multi-tool.
Yeah,
Whether it
yeah,
be Leatherman, Gerber, and to the point where I pretty much stopped carrying, not completely, but almost stopped carrying a knife
Yeah,
because I always had
yeah,
my multi-tool on me, which had a blade and a saw and all that good stuff.
yeah. Got everything
So,
you need, hasn't it?
oh yeah, it does. And it's in one package. And like I said, I don't have, when you're in that type of situation, I didn't want a whole lot of stuff hanging on my belt. And prior to that, I
Yeah,
carried like a 110, or 112
yeah, yeah, yeah,
on the pouch. So the Leatherman kind of took over its spot on my belt, if you will.
yeah, yeah. That was the same with me because I had my handcuffs, I had my baton, I had my
Right.
first aid pouch. Uh, I didn't want too much. Plus, we're not allowed to carry locking knives, but to me, the next best thing is a Leatherman. Could
Oh
sort of
yeah.
get away with that because it came in very handy.
Sure. Sure. Very cool. Now, is that a little Eagle Konami I see up there?
This one, I've just
Oh
got
no,
this in
that's
the Pocket Samurai.
yeah, that's the Pocket Samurai. Yes.
Yeah,
Yes, those are cool little knives.
this is the slip joint edition, so it's got like again, it's double D10, but it's awesome. It's
I
an
know
awesome little knife.
the one I had came holy heck sharp.
Yeah, this is. I got this on their Stack Gears Indiegogo campaign, which I signed up for, and I'm glad I did because it's now available in the UK, sort of double what I paid for it.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Now
knife
see,
prices over here, JB, they're so expensive. They really
now
are.
somebody just, I had somebody mention that to me earlier. I think it was um someone out of India. Yes, that's who it was. And we were talking about the Rough Riders. And he
Yeah,
said they're great, but I mean, he said they're like 3 to 4 times what you can buy them for in the States. And I'm sure that has to do with import
yeah,
and all that good stuff. And I mean, it really, to me, and it's just unfortunate
it
because
is.
here, I think Rough Riders are still to this day. I think the regular Rough Riders are still one of the better value knives out there. I understand they're only 440A, and I understand that the
Yep,
steel isn't the greatest, but when you're paying $10, $11 for a
they're
little,
usable, JB, and they're sharp and easy. As long as you strap it afterwards, you're
exactly,
absolutely fine.
exactly. I
I've
mean,
got a cupboard here. I've got my cupboards in front of me, and I'm just counting. I've got 3, 6, 9, 12, 15 Rough Riders in my display cabinet.
yeah, yeah.
I love them, absolutely love them. It's just that I'd love one of the new reserves, but I was looking just before I came on here, and you know that one that you was carrying earlier on,
The
the
swell
one with the
center.
swelled, yeah,
Let's see here.
that's £80, £80 over here, which will be
80 pounds.
80. It's 79.95.
Wow, that's close. I mean, that's easily $100 US.
Yep, yep. You see this CT 0230.
Yes, sir.
How much are they in the States?
Oh God, I would have to look, my friend. I don't know for sure.
They're definitely no more than $200, are they?
I don't believe so. No, no, no.
No, that cost me £190.
Wow.
That's what I mean. It's so expensive. I mean, I'm fortunate that through all this Instagram and YouTube, I've made a lot of friends, and a lot of them are in America. And
Sure.
like yourself, you send them over to me.
Sure.
That's how I got this one.
Right.
And
Right.
I'm very fortunate that way. It's like the Junzai. I got that from Christine, Women Carrying Ice, because she's got her own shop, hasn't she?
Oh yeah,
She's
yeah.
got
Hmm.
a web shop. So I bought this from her, and she sent it over. And even with all the fees, it works out a damn sight cheaper because I think this is £180 in our UK shops,
Wow.
and it cost me less than half that.
So okay, well, here's a question as well for you. Like when I sent you that little Rough Rider, right?
Yep,
And it has to go through customs and all this
yep.
stuff. And now, do you guys have to pay duty and stuff on that type of stuff?
um, Officially, yeah.
Okay.
This this EOS I got from them, and I got it in their sale. It was $100. I think over here they're over £200, but it was $100 in the sale.
Sure.
Because I bought it from a shop, they sent it through the, let's say, correct channels,
Of course.
and it got held at customs, and I had another £60 to pay at customs
Oh my goodness.
before they'd release it to me. Now, when my friends send them to me, if they send them as gifts with a value of less than say $15,
Sure.
then customs don't tend to look at them as much. But saying that, I have had two go missing lately. Zach sent me. I won one of Zach's lives a couple of months back.
Sure. Sure.
That hasn't arrived.
Oh
And
man.
then Scott, I won Cervive fracture from Kyle Lamphere, and Scott sent me that, and that's gone missing as well. So poor Scott felt guilty, so he got another one and sent me that instead.
Oh man.
Kudos to him. I
And
mean,
that's
it's the risk you have to take.
it is. It is. I understand. I understand. And I know that's exactly why a lot of channels don't ship international. And I understand that. I understand that wholeheartedly. And I mean, I didn't for a while and then I did. And luckily I quit for a while because I had a package. It didn't get lost, thankfully, but it came back to me stamped rejected by airline.
All right.
And I don't know
What
why in the world, because it
was it? A
wasn't
knife?
it. Yeah.
All right.
And
Don't
it's
understand
not
that.
like it was like batteries or flammable
Yeah,
or
that's what I was going to say. Yeah.
yeah, it wasn't anything like that. And that was just really weird. So, well, and that was kind of when this whole COVID thing started and all that good. So I was like,
Yeah.
okay,
Yeah.
well, I'm going to quit shipping international. I'm going to let things chill out for a little while and just let it calm down. And so then recently, those came out, the denim micarta work knife came out,
Yeah.
and I sent you one. I sent Eric one. I sent a couple
I
of.
think this got to me in just over a week, didn't it?
It was quick. Yeah, it was
Yeah,
really
very
quick.
quick.
Yeah.
It's like the one that the Civivi fracture that Scott sent me. I don't know where I've put it, but that took less than a week to get here. Now a lot of
Yeah.
people are under the impression that because of all this COVID, everything's slow. But it isn't. It isn't at all. Under a week, and that weren't priority shipping or anything like that. It was just standard.
Right.
Um, so it's not that bad. I mean, I suppose it all depends who you use for your parcel carrier. Um, I've tend to found that USPS things get lost with them. That's the two packages that have gone missing is with USPS.
Really.
Um, whereas is the UPS as well. I think I can't remember who Scott Big Boy. I can't remember who he shipped with, but I didn't have a problem. And same when Christine sent me that were about 2 weeks. That's all.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that were recently. So
I
at the
just
beginning of the COVID, it was bad, but it's eased off now.
okay. Okay, because I recently sent something. Dave Donkey. He's always on the channel and always,
Yeah,
and he's in the UK as well. And I just sent him. He won a he won one of my giveaways, and I believe
yeah,
he won the. I believe it was the contrail, the little
that's right.
Kaiser
Yeah,
contrail that he won.
yeah, that little chunky thing.
And yeah, I love it. Oh, that was
Yeah,
a fun little
yeah, I do.
knife. That was a fun
Yeah,
little knife. Locking, of course,
yeah.
but I sent that to him, and I don't know. I'd have to go back and check, but I don't know if he's got it yet. So I have a little bit
Right.
of concern there,
Yeah, yeah.
but I mean, there again, it is the risk we take.
It is. It is. What I don't understand is the parcel that Scott sent me originally. I checked on the tracking, and it was last sight seen in where was it now? Indonesia or something like that. And I thought, oh, why has it gone there from America to UK?
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
couldn't understand that at all.
Uh-huh.
But no, it's a shame. But like you say, it's the risk we have to take. unless we want to pay full price for things. And
Well, of course.
unfortunately, being disabled and not earning, just being on my police pension, that's I can't afford to do these things.
Oh, well, sure, sure. Now I think a lot of the things that I send, if I send something to like the UK or to that side of the world, I think they go through New York. I
Yeah,
think that's where, and I've had one
yeah,
package gone missing, and I was sending that one to South Africa,
right.
and it went through San Francisco, and it went to San Francisco, and then I don't know where it went from there.
I've
I,
sent some stickers to South Africa, and I don't think they've arrived yet either.
yeah, he told me that it can take a really long time for, and I'd sent him a package before, and it took a while, but it made it
Yeah,
fine.
yeah.
And then he was on a winning streak on my giveaways. He'd won a couple of my giveaways, like 2 giveaways within like a month or so.
Good
And
lad.
the first one made it fine, but the second
Yeah,
one, he said it never made it. So I don't know. I don't know.
that came from America. That was a gift from Big Boy.
Oh my goodness.
Um, that made it. And then I also have this. What came from America? This was a chat. I won another competition on Carl Anthea's page. So these are about the only two locking knives I have left now.
That's a
But
which
yeah,
which one is
it's the
that?
EX01 Hogue.
That's the EX01. Okay, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it's the
Oh,
4 inch version. They're normally
oh
three
my,
and a half inch,
right.
4 inch tanto.
Oh my goodness. What do you think of
Full
that one?
knife. Love it. Absolutely love it.
Yeah, yeah, very good.
You get quite a bit of lockstick. See, it does it there, but can you hear it?
I did. I
I don't
heard
know
it
if you can
pop.
hear.
Yeah, I did. I heard it
Yeah,
pop. Yeah. You
little bit of
know,
lockstick, but
I have noticed I haven't had much problem with lock stick and that type of thing on, just like your regular everyday production knife. The
yeah,
only knives I've had issue with lock stick and was knives that have been like custom, like that. I don't know
yeah,
if you saw that custom copper
yes,
mini grip that I just got in the
yeah, yeah.
last
I've
that
seen
last
that. Yeah,
Smoky Mountain box.
beautiful,
No, that's
beautiful.
got the custom copper scales on it, and
Yeah,
it came to me with a decent amount of lock stick. I thought I'd got it worked out, but the more I play with it, it kind of comes back. So I don't know if it's just the
yeah,
scales are off just a little bit or something. I don't know.
yeah. Because didn't you show it on your live? I mean, I didn't catch your live, but I rewatched it,
I
and you
did.
thought you'd
Yes,
sorted it, and then it stuck again, didn't it?
it did. Yeah, it did a little bit. Definitely not like
Unfortunately.
it was. I mean, it was
Yeah,
pretty. It would lock up pretty darn solid, right at first. And I did get it worked out a bit. So I think
yeah,
maybe I need to get some graphite or something on there to kind of
yeah,
make things a little
yeah,
slipperier or something. There's ways around it for sure.
yeah. It certainly is. I think this needs a bit of graphite grease, to be honest.
Yeah,
Just to, I find if you don't lock it out hard, it doesn't do it.
exactly. And that one's the same
If it,
way.
I mean, that's solid now.
If you give it that good flip, yeah, it just
Yeah,
kind of binds up a little bit. Yep.
yeah, yeah.
Very
But
cool.
yeah, that's
I
number
know we
two.
talked I know we talked about it a little bit before we started, but I think you and I are kind of brothers of the needle there. Yeah. Yes,
Yep,
sir.
I'm
Yes,
covered.
sir. Are you?
Uh,
Yeah.
you mentioned that you like that one, didn't you?
Oh,
The
that's
swallow.
awesome. Yes.
That the reason I got that one particularly is my dad, through all my illness and everything, my dad has been my absolute rock. He's always been there for me. Um, just over 2 years ago, unfortunately, out at blue, he died. Well, not out at blue. He got diagnosed with cancer, and within 3 weeks, he died.
Oh my goodness.
Um, yeah, it was the worst 3 weeks of my life.
I can
And he only
imagine.
ever had two tattoos. He had one tattoo with a scroll with mine and my brother's name on it, and then he had another tattoo with a scroll with my mum's name on it, and they were both swallows. So I thought, in memory of my dad, I'd get that is the exact same swallow that he had done it. Apart from it hasn't got the scroll. So
That's awesome. Yes, indeed. I
I'm
love
covered.
it. Yep. Yep. Oh yeah, nice. Yes,
I've even got,
indeed.
well, there's a story behind that as well. Me and my wife split up, ex-wife, sorry, split up, and I got with my tattoo artist, female, and I was with her for 18 months, and I turned out to be like a bit of a guinea pig. Whenever she were bored, she used to take needle to me. So I'd say like a good 70% of my body's covered.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I've got a full throat piece.
Oh, now see, I'm I don't know if I'm brave enough to do that yet.
we used to work conventions, JB, right? Tattoo conventions. In fact, we went over to America. Her brother lives in Arizona, Phoenix, Arizona, and
Okay.
there's a big convention over there every year called Hell City.
Okay.
And we went over to that and exhibited her work for the competition. But we did a UK convention. It was a full weekend convention, and what she used to do is she'd tattoo one person for the full day Saturday, and then another person for the full day Sunday. They backed out at the last minutes. She did me both days, 20 hours, 10 hours each day on the
Oh.
same piece
Oh.
across my stomach and my side ribs.
Oh.
Yeah, it isn't
Oh.
finished either,
Oh
but
my
20 hours.
goodness.
People were walking past saying, "You're a brave lad. You're a brave. Oh, you stupid. One or
Oh.
two." It was mental. I've never been in so much pain.
Oh my goodness. I've got a piece on my back. It's a you want to talk about tribute. It's a tribute to my dad and all my uncles that I mean they were my role models growing up, and they all
Yeah,
served in
yeah,
the military, and it's basically a remembrance piece of all of them. But
yeah.
I sat for 2 4-hour sessions,
Right.
and that was long enough.
Oh no, I'd regularly sit for a full day. My throat took 9 hours. It was 3 hours in
Oh,
3 consecutive days.
oh, Jiminy
Yeah.
Christmas, man. I just,
I,
it was really
I'm a,
funny. People comment about my hooks, right?
yeah,
I get comment about my hooks all the time on
yeah,
my thumbs.
yeah,
And he had done he had basically done this whole piece, for the most
yeah,
part.
yeah.
And I mean, it's a tattoo. It's not probably the most pleasant thing you're going to do in your life, but it's not bad.
I enjoy the pain, I'll be honest with you.
And I tell you what,
But again,
he touched that needle right there,
yeah.
and I thought I was coming out of that chair.
I'm saying I've had my fingers done.
The
I've also had the inside of my ear done, and that is the most painful
oh,
experience I've ever been through.
oh, Jiminy
Yeah,
Christmas. I know
yeah.
that, like the
I was stupid.
well, like the
Midlife crisis.
there you go, there you go. Well, like the
Yeah,
backside of your bicep and stuff, that underside of your
yeah,
arm.
yeah,
I mean, that's pretty tender there too.
yeah,
And I've
yeah,
got a piece, well, on, I guess it would be my right arm, that there's like a convergence point at one spot, and he must have went over that one spot, and it's not very big, and he must have
yeah,
hit that spot, I don't know, it felt like 100 times, really.
yeah.
And he's like, yeah,
Do you have any?
that's kind of a dumb place to get a tattoo, isn't it? And I was like, well, yeah, thanks for the telling me now
Yeah,
when we've been through this. And he's like, trust me, I've got every stupid place you can get tattooed on your body. So I'm like, all right, I'll take your
yeah,
word
yeah.
for it. But
Do you have any on your legs?
I have one on each calf. That's
All
really
right,
all I have on my legs.
right.
I
On my
got
left leg, I've got a full leg piece.
oh my goodness.
Um, the kneecap was interesting,
Oh,
but
oh,
behind the kneecap, that was
oh,
really bad.
oh, I can imagine. I can imagine. Well, it's kind of like
It's
the
not
inside of
nice.
the elbow.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
my goodness.
It made me smile.
Yeah, I bet.
Yeah,
Few choice words,
but
I would
like you
imagine.
said, I suffer with depression, JB. Basically, because I lost a job that I loved doing. When I was in the police, I got medically retired.
Sure.
I was in a bad place. I broke my back. I was in constant pain, and I started with bad depression. And I got diagnosed 17 years ago with clinical depression,
Okay.
and I've been in and out of hospitals and been doing some silly things. But I, the pain of being tattooed soothes me. It's strange, very strange. That's another reason why I started the Instagram and the YouTube, because it's an outlet for me.
Of course. Of course. That's exactly
Because
what I was just going to say. It takes your mind off of it, doesn't it?
no, I live in my bedroom, JB,
Yeah.
because I've got really bad mobility issues. I very rarely go out. I can't cook. I can't do anything like that because I can't stand for any more than 10 minutes in one position.
Oh, wow.
So I live in my bedroom, and speaking to you guys on a daily basis, really, really, you have no idea how much it helps. Honest to God, it's like I, I've been in some bad places, as you can imagine. I've been the one with rope round the neck, you know what I mean? Um, but speaking to you guys this last couple of years, I mean, my son saw it with the Instagram, and that's one of the reasons he told me to start the YouTube, because he saw how, I wouldn't say happy, but better
Sure.
I was. Do
Sure.
you know what I mean?
Yeah. I
It's a good outlet, and I enjoy talking to people. And 15 years ago, I wouldn't tell anybody. I would not tell a soul, and that is one of the problems. I kept it all bottled inside.
sure.
And now,
Sure.
anyone that suffers with depression, my biggest advice to anyone, and this is coming from someone that suffers, speak to somebody, anybody. Just talk to a stranger, anybody, and tell them how you're feeling. Because once you get it out of your system, you feel that little bit better.
I
Do you know
I,
what I mean?
I
Chris,
think
I
that's
speak to Christine on it.
sure.
Sorry, go on.
Oh, I was just going to say
Uh,
no, I think that's absolutely terrific advice. It's hard.
It is very hard,
It's very
especially for a
hard.
man.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, we
There's
tend,
the,
unfortunately, we tend to be bullheaded, and a lot of
exactly.
times we see ourselves as we have to be the strength. We have to
Yeah,
be, and it's well, and I think that's a basic biological instinct because I mean, if you think of animals in the wild, if you're a male and you show
you're the
weakness, you're
hunter.
probably not going to
Yeah,
survive. And I
yeah,
think
yeah.
it's just something that's evolved in us as men. It just is. And it's
Yeah.
one of the hard I totally agree with you it's one of the
It,
hardest things to show.
it is very, very, very hard. It,
And I won't say for
even
all.
thinking about it now, it's getting me down. But it is, do not bottle it up, because that's when you'll end up doing something stupid.
Right.
I've been there. I've been there.
Well,
I
I
Yeah.
applaud you for doing it, my friend. I really do, and for realizing.
Mm,
And you never have to. I know we have quite a time difference, and but you I never feel like you're alone. Just put it that way.
I don't, and that's the whole thing with this whole community. I don't feel alone anymore. You hit the nail right on the head there. I do not feel alone. I'll get a little text from Scott or from Christine. Hey, how are you doing? And it just perks me up straight away.
Exactly,
It,
exactly. And
that's
I
what I
know you
mean.
have your family. I know you have your family, and I do too. And trust me, I went through a little bit. Nothing. I'm not even gonna remotely even try to compare with you because that was that completely changed your life.
Sure did.
But I was
Did it?
going through a little bit of something, and then I found this community. And
Yeah,
basically, I was missing that military camaraderie and
exactly. The
that
police is exactly the same. Brotherhood.
exactly. I think we
Yep.
talked about that a little bit at one
Yeah,
point.
yeah, well, yeah, yeah.
And it just that unit that because what people that haven't been there or haven't been in
Don't
that
understand.
position, they
Yeah,
don't understand the fact that the 3 or 4 guys or however many, in my case on a submarine, there was like 110 of us.
Yeah.
But your life depends on each and every one of those other men.
Yep, definitely. Couldn't agree
And
more with you.
and it's just, I mean, the bond. I mean, do you get along with everybody? Of course not. It's
No,
just that's human nature.
yeah,
But
exactly.
I will guarantee you that when the poop hits the fan, so to speak, that guy's gonna be there to do his job and basically
Watch your back.
exactly. Exactly.
I mean, the police is obviously nothing like the military, but there are times when, I mean, I've been stabbed, I've been attacked. At one, for instance, I got attacked one night. I was fighting with a lad who was fighting with his wife, and I tried to intervene. I should have just left him to it. But I went and approached him, and he started on me. He ripped my radio mic out, so I couldn't call for help. Luckily, the CCTV operator was on the ball. She saw what was happening, and she called Team Van, and them guys saved my life. Do you know what I
Wow.
mean? It's the police. People think the police, oh yeah, but you do save each other's lives. You go into a house where there's a burglar, you don't know if they've got a gun or a knife.
Yeah. Yeah. It's very true.
There were some I mean, I've got loads of stories, but it's, I do miss it. I really do. And it's what, 20 years now since I got medically retired, and I still have people that I worked with contacting me.
Of course. Of course. Yeah, I've got
Friends for
guys.
life.
Of course, I've got guys that I haven't taught. I haven't seen since boot camp.
Yeah.
8 weeks. 8 weeks of our life is what we spent together.
Yep.
And I still talk to them.
Yeah.
Today. And
yeah.
That's not a boot camp. I mean, for some, I mean, I was only 17 when I went to boot camp, and I went from a little rural place in Nebraska to San Diego, California, and I was introduced to a whole different world.
Yeah.
Because it's just, it's culture shock. It is.
Yeah.
But I mean, you grow up really quick.
Quick. Yeah.
You have to.
Yeah.
You have to. And yeah, there's guys that I haven't seen since boot camp, but through social media and stuff. And I found a couple of my really, really good friends that in boot camp, and we talk every so often.
Yeah.
And it's just, and when I got out, I was kind of missing that a little bit. And
I was for a long time.
That's just it. And my son was like, he was the one that encouraged me to do this as well, like you.
Yeah.
So I started and I got it, and I was like, wow, and him it was, I don't know, 3-4 months later after I'd started, and, we were talking again, and I was telling him how much fun I was having and all this stuff. And he was like, well, don't you see, you've replaced that military family, so to speak, with this family. And he's like,
yep, exactly.
And I didn't even realize it.
No.
Didn't even realize it.
Do you know what I get now, JB?
All I
get now is, do you know what I get from my son now? I mean, he's only 20, but all I get from him now is, God, you're ignorant. You're always on Instagram or YouTube. That's all I get from him. It was him at the start, did it?
Well, I do feel a little bad too, because he had a channel that he was trying to get going and up and running. Him and his friend, they were doing it was like a gaming channel where they would play games, and they would talk and stuff. And well, what they would do is they would basically get drunk and play video games. That's what they were doing.
Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, have fun. Have fun. You're not hurting anybody. Have a blast. That's the. Yeah. I'm good. All good with that. But, and I kind of, I'll say, in relation to what he had going on, I kind of took off, and it just kind of started moving. And he just looked at me, and I was like, hey, you are the one that created this monster.
Yeah.
Don't, it's your fault.
Yeah. I mean, to be honest with you, I'm struggling a bit on YouTube. I tend to be getting a lot of views, but nobody's subscribing. So I don't know if that's going to be carrying on or not. I'm running out of content, and I'm not getting many subscribers. But I started the Instagram thing, and it's mainly Instagram where I talk to people. So do you know what I mean? I've got
Of
a lot of
course.
friends on Instagram that I can
Sure.
count on. Like
Sure.
you say, like yourself, JB. I've never ever met you, but I feel close to you. Does
Well,
that
sure. I
sound?
mean, we share a common bond.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's just, I mean, and I know you said that you made the comment that you don't think the police is anything like your military. Well, man, I tell you what, my friend, I would have to disagree with you, because in this day and age, the police are probably go to battle more day in and day out than, you know what I
Well, yeah,
mean?
yeah.
So
I mean, we didn't. All we had was a baton and pepper spray. We didn't carry guns or anything like that. So
yeah, yeah. And I
that was
mean,
our defense.
exactly. And in your situation like that in the UK, and I don't, trust me, I don't profess to know anything about, UK
Well,
law or law enforcement, but it was always my understanding that your everyday police officer did not carry a gun.
no, they don't. They
Yeah.
don't. It's only specialised units.
Yeah.
I
So
mean, I worked in Barnsley, and Barnsley's an old pit village, an old coal miner village where they're very set in their ways, and it was very hard to police, and they hated us. Um, I remember the first day out on beat on my own. I went onto this estate, and this little kid, he must have been no older than 6. He looked up at me and he says, "What are you doing here, you black bastard?" Excuse me, because that's what they used to call us, black bastards.
really,
I was like, "Excuse me." I couldn't believe what was coming out of his mouth. But then, having worked there for 7 years, you just think that's normal. That's what they're like. And it's very rough. It were a bit of a fighting town, and it had the cheapest heroin in the country at that time. So we were getting visitors from all over the place coming to get their the heroin. So that's when I had my accident. I was on the drug squad. Really enjoyed that, doing a lot of undercover work.
wow, wow, my goodness.
Yeah, I've got a few tales to tell.
Oh,
Believe me.
I can only imagine you do, my friend. I can only imagine you do. That's
But I
been
mean, as much as I enjoyed it, it's also ruined my life because through all that, what happened, I've lost everything. I lost
right.
my wife for 19 years. I lost my house. I nearly lost my life.
Yeah,
I lost one of my kids, but now he's back with me again.
that's good.
It's
That's good.
been hard, but it's made me who I am.
Well, that's just it. I mean, life isn't always a bed of roses. That's for dang sure.
It
And I
isn't.
think,
It isn't.
I think you're, I tell you what, brother, I think you're pretty much living proof of that. But where you sit right now, like I said, I commend you, I applaud you, and
And
just
thank you. Thank you.
never, never, never ever think that you're alone, man. There's always somebody here for you.
I totally agree with you, but I don't know if you've ever suffered with depression, but when you get in that state, no matter what anybody says, it doesn't help you.
Yeah. Yeah.
The thing that saved me was my mobile phone. It went into low battery mode, and picture of my kids came up on screensaver,
Yeah. Yeah.
and I thought, no, I can't do this to them, and
Th-
that basically saved my life. That
the things that are truly most important in life.
exactly.
Wow.
I've as a police officer, I dealt with a lot of suicides, and I always said that it was a sissy's way out, and I would never ever do that because it's not doing it; it's the aftermath, the family.
Sure. And
I've been the one knocking on the door. Excuse me,
oh,
blah
I-
blah blah. I've done it all, and I've said I would never ever do it. But I tell you what, once you get in that rut and you get in that big dark hole, all them thoughts go out the window. You just can't. It's horrible. It's a horrible disease, and I wouldn't wish it on my worst enemy.
yeah.
And it is a disease, and I mean, it's only this last couple of years that it's been seen as an illness, really, or a medical issue.
Sure.
Um, but yeah, my biggest piece of advice is talk to people.
Oh, without a question. Without
I
a
mean, it's
doubt.
not always easy to speak to your family about things. It
Sure.
isn't.
Sure.
which is why you speak to strangers. You pick up a phone, you ring suicide helpline, or I don't know if you have the same thing in America, but we have
Oh, of
what they call
course.
the Samaritans.
Oh, of course. Yes,
Um,
sir.
or like, no, I mean, I speak to you a lot and I don't talk about my past, but just talking to you in general, like now, right? Talking to you, I'm quite hyper. And I've been like this for a long time. It's because I sit in here on my own all the time.
Sure.
And it's very rare I talk to people. It's weird, you know, actually converse with somebody rather than texting.
Sure. Yeah. No, trust me,
And
I'm glad we were able to do this. This has been awesome. And, and
I,
I hope
I
it's
know you said
helped.
half an hour, but it's gone on, hasn't it?
Hey, you know what? Like I said, yeah, I said we'll try to keep it between 30 minutes, but you know what? When I think be perfectly honest with you, I think this has done both of us a lot of good.
Yeah, it has me. It has me. I'm so happy and I'm so thankful that you invited me on. I really am.
Well,
It's
I was thinking, I was like, who can I, because this is pretty new for me. This is a pretty new
yeah,
thing. And I,
yeah.
I got over my fear of technology, I guess is like I say, you know what
Technophobe.
I mean? So,
Yeah,
and I'm like, all right, well, now I've proven that I could do this. And trust me, I've been wanting to do this for a while. It's something we've
yeah,
talked about for quite some time.
yeah.
And I mean, I've talked to, Zach and Sean geared toward gear, and we've talked about it a lot. And it wasn't until Zach and I just recently did that little Zoom video. Well, I guess if there's anything that I can say has come out of COVID, I learned how to use Zoom.
Yeah.
I
Well,
mean,
when you spoke to me and you said, "Do I know Zoom?" I've never even heard of it,
yeah,
and it's
but
quite funny because
it's
I've never
this is
used it.
fantastic.
Yeah, never ever used it, and today I've used it twice. So I
Yeah.
was using it this morning when you contacted me earlier on. So twice in one day, and I've never ever used it before. So
Well,
I'm an
look at
expert
us.
now.
Look at us. We're becoming. Look at us, man. We're just really we're taking off, man. We're doing it.
I'm only a couple of years behind you in age as well, so it's gone 48.
Well, I tell you what, my friend, this has been an absolute thrill to
I've
talk to you
enjoyed it.
today. I am
Been nice, Jody.
so glad that you agreed to do this. And again, I thank you very much for sharing what you have with us today, because like we said, I know it's not always easy, but
It
as
isn't.
you said, if you talk about it, it makes it just a little bit.
Yeah, and you don't talk about it. You don't want people feeling sorry for you. That is the last thing you want.
I hear
You
you.
don't want people
I hear you.
pussyfooting around you.
I hear
Just
you.
speak to you as normal. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
I
yeah.
hate people like, oh, are you all right? Are you all right? No, I'm not all right. Just leave me alone. And
Right,
there's no for it. And
right.
people say like, oh, you need to sort your head out. What do you think I've been trying to do for the last 20 years?
Right, right. I hear you.
That's why I'm on medication.
Right. Yes, yes, indeed.
I don't drink. I haven't had a drink in 7 years, but that's because of my painkillers. I'm on
Now,
that
yeah.
much pain meds. I can't drink,
Right, right.
unfortunately. But don't make me a sad person. I'm enjoying myself now. I'm enjoying life,
Excellent.
which
I'm
it's nice. Nice.
very glad to hear that.
Yeah, I am. I can say that wholeheartedly. I am enjoying life now.
Well, very, very good, my friend. Well, like I said, I am super, super thankful that you agreed to do this. And you
I'm thankful
guys
for you asking me.
check out Nice Slicers on Instagram. Check out Nice Slicers on YouTube. Links will be down in the description. Paul he's a wonderful person. Like I said, we've talked, we've chatted, texted back and forth, and to be able to actually, talk to you pseudo face to face, we'll say table to table.
Yeah,
How's that?
yeah. Yeah.
It's been an absolute pleasure, my friend. And again, I
It's,
thank you so very much.
I thank you from the bottom of my heart, JB. I really do. You've no idea what this means to me. I know it might sound soppy and sad, but it's just
Not at all. Not
it's
at
put me in a
all.
good mood.
Excellent. Excellent. Well, thank you very much, my friend. Maybe we'll have to do this again offline. Just have a chat and
Yeah,
talk.
yeah, most
I would
definitely.
absolutely love that.
Yeah,
So
technology's amazing, isn't it?
it is. So very
Thousands
good,
of
my
miles away.
friend. We will talk
Thank
to
you.
you later.
Thank you very much.
Bye-bye.